grounds, which is in German. But okay, never mind, because the game has started. But I'll give you some tidbits later on from the discussions we had. We've got a flashbang peek, and it's not going to quite work out the way forZe wanted. Flit's going to take one in the face. One map lead, but it's a one-man lead for Team Spirit. Doesn't last very long, gets even worse, actually. FaZe looking to deliver more. The bomb's been lost now, maybe falling into the water. This balance may not last very long with 6 HP. And it's Sophic now, 1 versus 3. Position unknown for the time being. Creeping. He's fired 3 shots, so maybe they saw something from him earlier on. But they're looking all over the place. He needs a 1v1. He doesn't really have all the range in the world, even at this distance. I'm not sure if 1 shot to the head would be enough. Looking by the sandbags, eventually, surely someone's going to peek the short B position. XE-Power having a quick look, and he's been spotted. 80 HP, no Kevlar for Sophic, so these shots to the body will be painful as well. All these CTs have got Kevlar, and with a minute on the clock, he'll look to reposition. However, I don't know if he knows where all of the players are. I don't know if this can be heard by Jerry, who's the closest player at the moment.
The picture he has perfectly, describes the situation, like the eyebrow raise. This is not a situation that you want to be in. He does manage to get a headshot out of it, but what a strong response. I actually thought that forZe were going to get kind of crushed because of the way Flit kind of like casually went into the monster angle. It looked like he wasn't gripping his mouse correctly or something. It's like, I don't know what was going on, but he didn't look too ready for those fights. But still, it was a strong response. It honestly does seem like forZe are more on point here so far today, I would say, James. Like, they're looking good.
Overpass will be a really good test for both of the squads. Such is the nature of the map. FaZe is USP only, so he's saving for some big guns later on. We've got HE bouncing off the wall. Not the normal angle for grenades or Molotovs or things in that direction, but of course it is anti-eco territory, so sometimes, or anti-force by rather. Sometimes things can get a little weird. Flit could offer some support for a potential crossfire between Connector and the toilet's position. Almaze will spot one head towards Party. You don't want to duel that too long. Again, against a Deagle especially, there's only so many places you can peek from, so it is going to be easier for them to land one on your face. But you can see it's essentially a bait situation, but they will need to activate together, which is why he's staying close to those stairs. 1 minute 10 on the clock, and forZe don't have information towards long, so I do wonder if they get nervous about this position they're in. Almaze moving out. Look at Cole, he hasn't spotted him there. He's in no man's land now. Getting curious, and mistakes have been made. The crossfire is taken out, never comes into play. Team Spirit maybe realizing what's going on, take out both players.
Oh dear. And everyone has helmets, so that really does make things much less likely for them to be able to come back into this one. Jerry will be able to spray down one. He takes minimal damage, which is, of course, crucial. Can't really push back up into that position, so long rotation has to commence. And it's just FaZe alone with an USP. He was, of course, saving for AWP in the third round, but this looks like it's going to backfire immensely due to the force buy from Team Spirit. And how do they do this? Jerry looks to go through the smoke, perhaps. Here he goes. Oh my god, he's on top of the head of Sophic there. And Sophic will get traded out by FaZe. Exit Power is pretty far away at this point. There's nothing I don't think that he can do now. He does have a kit and a flashbang and a smoke, but he doesn't really have the health to do this, so he's going to fall back. And what a surprising result. If FaZe perhaps didn't have just a USP, maybe there's a world where they can save this situation, but ultimately, Team Spirit with the force buy.
I wonder if the lack of information towards long made forZe nervous. Moving out of Connector towards the toilet, it's a very dangerous situation, but just didn't see Coldie just camping by the bench. And then Flit tried to trade. He took a deagle to the face from the position. So I do wonder if Team Spirit read the formation and realized they were being moved into a bait situation. No one was peeking. And maybe they wondered why. Great play from Team Spirit either way. And Disbalance was, he stayed towards that Party position, stopped the rotation, separated the final 2 players because he was alive for quite a while. By the time he was taken out, that was the only CT left. So it's well played, good awareness in the force buy.
It's also one of the, like when you're on the CT side, you have to weigh up whether or not, I mean, there's a couple of decisions you can make. Obviously, there's a risk that when you go USP only there, because you're saving for third round AWP, that you're kind of saying that I think this round is a given, and effectively we can play with like 1 player down. Is effectively like one of the things you're saying there. So how likely is it that the other team's going to force buy? If they've gotten a bomb down, There is a realistic chance that they're going to force buy, especially on a map like Overpass. There's a lot of options for force buys. So I'm not sure, James. I think for me, I prefer if they get the bomb down to just play it safe, and if they don't get the bomb down, you can do whatever you want. Because even if they force buy, at least in that situation, you're a lot safer.
So what's happening here? Tech pause. Let's get some information, guys. We've got the GG bet odds at the moment. Team Spirit favored for this map. Again, higher ranked than forZe. Another back and forth affair, just like Inferno was. At the very beginnings of this game of Overpass. I'm curious to see what the meta will look like between these two teams. If the squeaky door is going to be blown off by the connector door, rather, it's going to be blown off by the CTs. What the approach is in that area, among others. We may have to wait, though, because forZe are in a tight situation. They've gone for the force buy straight back after winning the pistol, losing Team Spirit's force. There'll be a scout and MP9, bits and bobs. We've seen forZe have got some setups, but again, Team Spirit seemed to potentially be aware of what was going on. There is a connection, but he can't stay here forever. Nobody's watching connector for the CT side, so XC Power will have to fall back eventually. Got 3 forZe players towards the long position, very, very deep indeed, and FaceCrack's just alone on the B bomb side. So far, so good in that respect, as Team Spirit have started super slow. And Team Spirit will fall back based on that smoke in connector. So what is their next play?
Well, it's going to work out. If they're able to get a kill onto Coldie by bursting onto him and steal the Krieg, given that they all have armor, this could work out. Team Spirit don't have any presence towards the sewers at the moment, so there's no fast rotation into B that's possible. I mean, they can try to do it. It's just risky, as they don't have any information. So
it's crazy how little inroad Spirit have made with 49 seconds on the clock. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, given where the bomb is going and where the MP9 is, very scary.
The timing seems to be perfect for forZe. Disbalance has dropped the bomb. 38 seconds. And there's a huge spray down, but still the bomb is with the CT, so he can fall back now and defend the site. So they don't need to stand here and hold the bomb, but they'll do so for the time being. Still holding on to the bomb now is Flit, and now he's going to start to... He's still just holding his position, but there's bomb plant pressure, so I think he could have done with rotating towards the site there. FaceCrack is going to try and make his way from the B bomb site, but I think the CTs have lost their position now. He's got some smokes going up, but that can invite variance because there's no one holding the long position, so there could be some spray through that smoke. There's a spray! Oh, it's completely brutal! There's no cover! They knew he was still there. Now they're trying to plant by the truck. This is a complete disaster. It's a car crash in slow motion, and the round will go the way of forZe.
What the hell just happened? That was such a strange round because also it feels like forZe made a lot of good plays, but then they made also some decisions which were kind of questionable, but it all works out perfectly. It just works out so perfectly. Flick gets so many kills for the P250. It felt like, I think, was it the second one was through the smoke as well on the second plant attempt? Oh my god.
I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like it's bizarre that forZe held deep on A long for so long without moving at all. Only one person would be bomb site for so long, and Team Spirit just held for so long. But on the T side, you have to start thinking about making a way somewhere. They didn't check long at all. There's 49 seconds left. They've got no one towards B whatsoever. Yeah. They haven't gone through connector. They haven't made it in towards toilets. So they've got minimal map control.
Well, one reason why I agree with... Oh my god, he gets the second one through the smoke as well. That's mad.
But they knew he was long, but dropped the smoke on the site with no one covering a peak from long.
But initially, I do agree with them just holding onto long, because if they're going to commit to saying, okay, we expect that they're going to go default into long, which is how a lot of teams play their anti-force bar, anti-eco, then that's cool. But yeah, it ended up being so weird. And now they've got a Krieg. Exopowers on the AWP, no Kevlar though. And we get the force buy again. But this should not really, realistically, go too well for Team Spirit. They do have the AK on Sunday Young, though, and he's certainly quite a scary individual. Will they challenge that again? No, they won't. It's very difficult to deal with that AWP in that position. Need to throw the super deep flashes for it.
I feel like 2 of the 3 rounds we've seen so far, it's like they've got a lot of intel on each other and their habits, and it's a game of chicken. Because I feel like those scenarios, you just wouldn't see them to that extent with other teams. Is that the opening they needed towards the B bomb site? Perhaps not, because Jerry's picked up the Krieg and he has done colossal damage to this force buy from Team Spirit. But they've got another frag. There are 47 seconds on the clock. They've got to pick up the bomb, though, so they kind of have to go forward here. There is a rifle for Chopper if he can get there, but maybe Flit will deny him. Some more grenades from his teammates to isolate the positions, but they've got the bomb. They've got a second rifle. They've got 35 seconds, so there's still a chance for them to take position. I think everybody's here on the B bomb site, but see what they choose to do. Through the smoke, they'll be isolated. Chopper taken out. Nothing Disbalance can do. Tries to run away with 4 seconds on the clock. Shot through the smoke. And that will do for the CT side.
Yeah, they'll stabilize now, which is going to be lovely considering how tumultuous these early rounds have been. Team Spirits. It's really annoying too because the first 4 rounds have been so weird. You haven't really been able to establish your defaults. You haven't been able to establish sort of like, okay, in our defaults, we pressure this particular spot more heavily than others, and then maybe you start to condition your opponents, and then you can play off these expectations. Like, you've kind of forgone all of that because it's just been the case of these force buy battles, and so you kind of get into the flow of things a little bit late, and the CTs have all the money, they're going to have all the guns, they're going to be taking the initiative instead, so you're kind of starting off on the back foot. So it's going to be interesting to see how Team Spirit try to break that momentum that now forZe are going to have. Ooh.
Oh boy.
That was massive damage. Wow. Oh, that's a very, very clean spray down as well to finish it off. That is beautiful.
You love to see it. It's brief and it's swift. Sweeping the crumbs off the table with a lot of efficiency. All in all, not a terrible way to start the CT side. Once they've stabilized, you can see Almeza's got almost $7,000, so it's worked out pretty well. It felt like it's been a very back and forth situation. There's been some crazy standoffs, but forZe are 4-1, and they've got money in the bag along with their buy. Jerry will continue with the MP9. We've got smokes being lined up for the toilets, it seems. Oh, they're flashes, though, because these AWP shots have been a problem in the last 2 rounds. There's a smoke towards toilets. Almeza, that is absolutely brazen, but he may be trapped. Perhaps 2 for 1 is enough for forZe. You don't see her play like that every day.
I like it though. It gets a lot of information, and he did actually get the 2 kills that he needed. Going 1 for 1 there is obviously not ideal. So does the minimum to allow it to be a huge benefit to the team. And now Team Spirits are moving towards this A bomb site, but they don't have too much in the ways of utilities. There's only 1 flashbang. You see Flish is playing the info game, just jump peeking dice here, and is the spot. So now the rotation can start to happen as they start to spot that there's a majority of players here. That's a beautiful flick coming in from Exit Power. And what do you even do if you're Team Spirit now? You can't get into the bomb site. You're stuck in the mud at this point.
Dental records just got deleted. No, there's 1 smoke for Chopper, but they don't really have position to throw a smoke. He heard the scope of Exi Power, so some Young should know that he can't pick in the situation. He picks just as Exi Power moves away. But Flit's here as well. He's going to take 1 in the face. Exi Power down to the P250. And now the bomb site is open all of a sudden. 30 seconds to plant the bomb. Get that smoke up. He's got to put it behind him. But smoke for the truck position. So Bank and the stairs are still open for the time being. Do they pursue? That's a huge frag from Jerry. Running distraction now. Young does not know where face crack is, most likely. Coming from the back, there's a flashbang, so he's got the information, but he has minimal space to maneuver, and there's a trade for face crack. Another round in the bag for the CT side, 5-1.
Yeah, but you do wonder, did it have to be as hard for them as that? Because that was very close, and it was also kind of strange because the positioning of the AWP on the A site in the 4 versus 2 went very committed, very deep, given that he'd just also seen a player like in the spot where he was standing, and then scoping in a spot where if that player was still there, he won't ever be able to see him. So it's kind of
even if someone's close toilet still behind the wall, they'll hear that.
Right. So that to me was very strange. It felt like you're putting your advantage at great risk for almost no benefit.
The wide swing at the beginning of the round long was really cool because it was so disrespectful just immediately. The thing is, it might slow down the pushes and the default from Team Spirit in the round to come. To wide swing like that so early might just set the pace for the T side and kind of condition them to be careful and fear those kind of plays, which may cause them to misuse their own clock. So that could be a psychological advantage for forZe in the buy rounds to come. But it is a half buy for Team Spirit. They've got a potential wall of smokes towards the A bomb site. and a bunch of dangerous pistols, so forZe will have to play this well. And forZe are playing the bomb sites at the moment. This is like this is like eco rounds of old when Overpass first came out, but of course it's anti-eco round for forZe. It's limiting Team Spirit's ability to swarm, especially when you have an AWP on the CT side, trying to abuse their range as much as possible. Team Spirit is still trying to figure out if anybody's in the toilets or not.
So a passive approach here, as you should be doing against pistols like this. The smokes will make things a bit difficult, given that a few of these opening shots were missed by the CTs, but that's a beautiful response, just the boost over the top of the smoke. Love to see it. Now the bomb's down as well, so this has gone pretty decently so far now for forZe. He will find his way through the smoke. Chopper as well doing some damage, and making things a little bit expensive here now for the likes of forZe, but it will still be a forZe victory. 6-1 now on their CT side. They are stabilizing, and they'll be up against the buy again. So we'll start to see if what you said is true before, James, about the whole conditioning of worrying about the aggressive plays from long as they enact their defaults towards bathrooms control.
This might become worrisome for Team Spirit pretty quickly if forZe have another strong buy versus buy. Like if the next one is won in such devastating fashion, then it may really throw Team Spirit off, being a map down already. This is the pick of Team Spirit as well, but of course they still have their CT side to come. But and look how passive they are. Look how passive the beginning is here from Team Spirit. If there was I don't know if there was a Molotov from the CT side towards T ramp going towards playground. If there was, then that might partly explain how shallow a position they're in at the moment. Coldie would need to be pop flashed into this position, but they've got a Molotov to do the job, so I'm going to assume that there was a deep Molotov. Got their smoke towards the toilet position, and they'll slowly start to take the toilets. But as you can see on the radar, Major is in position, and Exit Power is on long as well. Flip's keeping an eye around the inside of the toilets, and FaceCrack, I think he just saw a shadow as Sundayong jumped across the stairs.
They have Suez control now, Team Spirit, and they'll be looking to go for a set piece onto the B side, but if they can get a pick first, that'd be great. But actually just going for the nades straight up. No messing around. And straight in they go. Face crack by the barrels. Jerry trying to look under the smoke here, see what he can find. Oh, he tries to run straight forwards, but Sophic will punish that movement, leaving Flip very close. It's a good position, this one. It often goes underlooked. Oh no, Almeza almost getting a double. Flip will finish off one, stopping the plant for now, but it's down to Extra Power to finish off the rest. And there's 3 players left. And sorry, the bomb didn't actually go down just in the nick of time. Can he get this? This is a key kill. And maybe there's a chance now, but here comes another peek. And he can't do anything. And that's a good explosive round from the likes of Spirits.
They made it expensive, the CT side. There was some money to afford the additional loss there. I think there were a lot of small windows of opportunity, which all went the T's way to push along the smoke from the second CT there when he had the gap. Wasn't aware of the position from short B around the corner of Team Spirit. So they made that very, very expensive, and there will be some shortcomings. You could see Jerry's only MP9, but not for the first time. Seems comfortable in that position. XE Power's got the AWP as well. And forZe they were prepared for that B push. They had the counter smoke around the pillar, which creates some space for them and can slow things down and make things awkward around the B bomb site. But everything went in favor of Team Spirit pretty much from that point onwards. Almeza quietly moving out of the connector position. Again, it's very scary territory to exit connector and try and avoid getting shot from party, but maybe with the previous fast plays from forZe, that will be made a little easier. Team Spirit now with a 3-man investment towards the long position, and forZe are already changing their formation for this round.
Yeah, so this is a vastly different round from the previous one from Team Spirit. And again, this is the round to break the money of forZe, the round to take momentum back. And if Team Spirit pick this one, they'll likely get to 4 with a good chance to get to 5. And before you know it, it's a really competitive game, and what otherwise looks to be quite one-sided. And that is a great start. iDisbalance punishing Exit Power there, and now it's going to be a 5 versus 4 in favor of Team Spirit. And that's a beautiful return from Almeza, spotting players, spotting the bomb towards Divider. That's a huge chunk of information there, and they're going to rotate everybody pretty much.
Flit moving forward. Almeza's got a smoke to drop. There's a beautiful shadow advantage for Vet moving wide. He's got the information now. 2 of the 3 players outside toilets, and Inno disbalance was towards long of the AWP. 24 seconds, surely not enough time to rotate. There's all the information. Can't find a bomb planter immediately. Coldie taking minimal damage. There's a long play taken out. Coldie falling to the flames. Where is Samdayoung? They know 2 are towards the toilet position, and there's still 3 alive for forZe. So what does Samdayoung choose to do? Jerry's going to touch the bomb. And there he comes, and there he goes. 2 players taken out. Jay will get an upgrade for his MP9, I'm sure. AWP continues, and in the driving seat once again are forZe.
I wonder what the deal was for Coldie there, because he was fine, and then it looked like he just kind of stood in the Molotov on his way out and died. So perhaps I don't think he was blinded, but it could have just been one of those cases where like you're getting hit by the Molotov, and sometimes like you just don't hear the damage that you're receiving, but your health's going down. And maybe that was the case. I don't know.
Could have been shots as well.
Either way, will be a very critical round going to forZe, but they're not done just yet. Big buy coming back in the hands of Team Spirit there with that huge loss bonus. Exit Power looking for something. Oh, just took out his AWP. Exit Power gets himself a second one. Will he get out of here in time? He's forced to try to fight his way out, and he will do just that. He has retreated to safety, but he still wants more, and he is holding the angle now, and there's nobody to punish him from Connector, so he might just be okay, but Chopper will finish him off eventually, and that's come at a great cost, though. 2.5 players from Exit Power. That's not bad.
That half player can be enough, however. Got to finish off the job. Once again, caught trying to rotate from connector to toilets. Very, very dangerous waters. So maybe that gives a window of opportunity for Team Spirit. 2 per site. Well, I say per site, but Fliss and Almeza are in no man's land at the moment in terms of positioning. Almeza trying to fall back. They could be in for a nasty surprise. I think they will be. But he might just see a shadow in time. Pulls a knife out, but he's able to fall back to the bank position. Now there's a crossfire for the CT side. Will they even look for Flit? Almeza repositioning up the stairs. There's a rotation. You can see it on the X-ray. 40 seconds for the bomb to get planted. Flit's playing for the bomb. There's Sotfik. He's got no cover. He's got no cover. Flit's going to peek, but he's too low. He can't see the head until afterwards. Can he even take the kill? His teammate will. And everyone's going to die in very quick succession for an 8th round. forZe looking way too comfortable on this CT side. Surviving in the numbers, building their money once again. Still just 2 rounds for Team Spirit, and they're a map down already. Yeah, the bomb plant, at least, with the loss bonus, is going to give them a full buy. No worries about that, but the full buy, the economy hasn't been what's been worrying. What's been worrying, of course, as you say, is the fact that they are struggling to pick up anything in terms of wins on this T side of theirs. Very confident stuff, and some of it has just been down to forZe having some great individual moments, and that I think was really a good display of why Overpass can be so scary sometimes. If you have to have players that on the CT side of Overpass, they're willing to make plays, because if you get those kills, those couple early kills like Exit Power did here early in the round, it's so powerful. Obviously, it's so strong, and so much information as well for forZe at that point, because he saw so many players. That means you can push B at that point, and there's all sorts of stuff you can do on the CT side of Overpass, and I feel like forZe are really capitalizing on that. And here we go. Actually, Almeza's 16 for 4 as well, and I feel like that's quite quiet, because I don't think I've noticed really him getting these big clutches or multi-kills, but he's been going for it. Team Spirit almost looked like they were charging into the B bomb site. I don't know if they took evasive action based on a Molotov or something along those lines. You'd expect him to have a smoke prepared for the molly, so who knows, maybe they were looking for something a little more opportunistic. XC Power jump peeking, but seeing nothing at the moment. No HEs being lined up for the jump peek position just yet. And Team Spirit, they could still rotate back and try and make some inroads, show some presence towards A, but it doesn't look like that's their intention at the moment. A second foray, a second barrage of weapons, grenades moving into the B bomb site for the T side. That's a huge frag for FaceCrack. He was in trouble there, but another one comes from the short B position, and down he goes. Jerry's got a nice angle, but this is inviting variance for both teams. I feel like the CT side a little more. There goes Jerry, sliding down into the sewage. Man advantage for Team Spirit. They take the short B position, but all the CTs are coming in from CT. The boost has failed, and now it's 2 versus the 3 of Team Spirit. We've got Samdayoung by the barrel. Split going too wide, not really seeing him. And XC Power has to run away with 12 HP, and now things have become really expensive for forZe, and there might just be a way back into this half for Team Spirit.
However, the two of the three now successful rounds for Team Spirit, I think one was the pistol, I think, right? And then the one previous to this was a B rush. So two of the gun rounds they've won have been B rushes.
Yeah, but if they break the money, then that's not such a big deal. Let's see. There might be a buy around this weapon, actually.
XP can drop a FAMAS or something, and then they'll have a decent enough buy. Probably an MP9 FAMAS, 2 M4s, and an AWP. Yeah, you can see Almez is doing a great amount of work here. So 160 ADR, not bad. And indeed, decent buy coming in from forZe, or Augs instead of M4s. So last chance to stop this momentum here. Team Spirit are going to go what has been working here, just rushing the B-bomb side.
FaZe Crack trying to create some space again with the smoke grenade. He'll be running distraction, and Jerry's going to try and activate. Good for 1 kill, but FaZe Crack will fall eventually. Never really had position there. Flits all over the place with this FAMAS. Samdayang on the site with 3 HP, and Sophics coming in from Monster. So XP Powell's got all the information, but he can't know how low Samdayang is, so maybe he walks in with the AWP. There's a Molotov towards the short B position. Samdayang could rotate towards the A bomb site, but looks like he'll plant on B. XP Power hears the beeps. Seemed like he may have gone for a rotation of his own, but now here we go. With all this time gone, Samdayang could be anywhere. Could be towards Monster. The elevated position. Oh, never mind that. He's just given a sound cue away. That could be fatal. XP Power now creeping from the short B position, jiggling, trying to invite a shot going wide. Had no idea how low Samdayang was, and that is a very, very close round won by Team Spirit, and that absolutely breaks the money of forZe.
Indeed it does. It doesn't break the chances though, because again we have this interesting scenario. They want to, let's not forget, they won a round similar to this previously on the second or third round, whichever one it was. And you know, it was with just P250s and a 1 safe rifle, I believe it was, something like that. And I'm curious what they'll go for here. So they're going to go for a similar setup as to the previous time that they won a round such as this, where they just hold 4 players on long for a very, very long time. And again, this does deal with what is generally the most safe and most common way a T side will play their anti-eco, which is everyone running up A long after just having a default kind of start, making sure that the TC you catch, if the CTs are rushing something, you kind of catch it before you go into that long push.
You can actually peek all the way to one of the boulders. If you went a little deeper, a boulder would have appeared, but then if there's like a deagle or something, it might not be the best crab walk to do. And there is the boulder to the right of Flit. That's the one you can see from that position. Flit's just hiding behind a tree. There's a flash, and no one's showing just yet. Now, does that invite forZe to creep around the corner? Coldie's still keeping an eye on things, and that scope can be heard. And maybe because of the scope, they feel like they can exploit something. They may not expect Coldie here with the Krieg. There's a wide swing, and there's going to be a trade. Marvelous stuff from the CT side. The best you can ask for. Even better. Even better. Flick on the safe for the P250, but there's 2 huge rifles to be collected there. Maybe expecting more players, but there aren't. And there's an AWP for him. 1T, I think he was in connector. I think he still is. So we'll see what Flit chooses to do. Bomb's not planted just yet, but how much can you really expect in a situation such as this? I think he was heard by Chopper, who will reposition. The door is closed, so Team Spirit won't be too concerned. You don't want to allow the CT to save an AWP though, but there we go. 5 rounds for Team Spirit.
Yeah, Flit seems to be quite comfortable in rounds like this. I think last time he got 4 kills with his P250. 2 through the smoke, it's pretty mad. And this time he's going to save an AWP and get 2 kills. So he's definitely got a good record in.
Yeah, I mean, technically speaking, he did bait his whole team wide swinging for him to get those frags.
Man, if you get the kills.
All that matters is the stats page.
Yeah. So Team Spirit back on the board, 5 rounds to go. Sorry, 5 rounds that they have now, but potentially 2 more to go in their favor if they continue with the success. And again, we have to remember, you know, where is the only success being found for them? It has been found in B rushes. Oh, FaZe Crack. It's been found in B rushes. That's been the only rounds that have been successful in them, in these buy rounds. So they're gonna rush B again because they have tried everything else, and the other openings don't seem to work for them. And you can see 4 players before start at the B side of the map here because they are afraid of that very fact. And that's a great start from Power. That's not an easy one to hit. He'll find a headshot onto this balance, but looks like Suez is under control here by Team Spirit. coldly takes down Almeza. So there's some small bits of information here for forZe. And looks like they were maybe even thinking about going for a retake there. And down to 3 HP. coldly, and the HE will finish him off. Beautiful work there from forZe. They obviously were tracking his movements.
They saw him move into the corner, but he had a second player come through the short B tunnel, so I thought they may have got tunnel vision and just walked towards coldly and just been taken out for free. Wasn't the case, though. Good spatial awareness from forZe, and they have an opportunity to take it to 9. I think FaceCrack may have just seen some down. You can see Jerry repositioning, maybe looking for a flash or something. Oh, he's not going to do anything, though. Continuation spray from Sum Young. Absolutely beautiful. 2 frags towards the B bomb site. Maybe expecting a rotation. We've got Power in connector, but I don't think he's gone down deep enough, fast enough to hear the rotation from Team Spirit, which is possible. But where do they choose to go now? 40 seconds, and they are pretty far away from anywhere. So Power could be devastating. I think he's got the sound cues now. Is he going to scope in? Sum Young coming out first with a pistol. There's a first frag. Sophic with the bomb's going to win his duel, but now flips between everybody else. We're on the radar, actually. He's below them. Looking towards B. 20 seconds, though, and the bomb is above him. He's got his knife out, and Chopper may just have superior position. This might work out for him. There we go. Round number 6 for Team Spirit. Again, they finally broke the money of forZe, who have been stronger in this half. But when you don't have money, life is going to get more difficult.
Yeah, this is a good example as well of like the economy system and how it can, how it's really helped a team that's really far behind, especially the T side of teams, because as you say, James, forZe were absolutely much more dominant on this half, but Team Spirit were able to get so many buys that it's now they've brought themselves up to 6 rounds where the CT economy is being punished a lot harder for their failures after a lot of success, but.
Oh boy.
Powers, he's been consistent, man. Every single time he's besting undisbalanced in this position. And that is huge. To have an AWP that can do that is massive. So much presence on the map. And speaking of which, here trying to claim some presence towards connector is Chopper. And that Molotov has certainly helped. Forces Almeza out. And will there be a punish onto Chopper here? Got Flip playing in close position. Oh my god, Chopper looked like he had that one, but Power seems too strong to stop right now.
I feel like Power's got opening frags 4 or 5 times on the CT side.
Yeah.
I think this is a Stewie one-way smoke. Stewie 2K smoke there. Gimmicks. Not seeing much of anything though. Moving away from B, but they'll have the sound cues and the grenade cues. Well, the grenade cues that it is going to be a B play. There's enough information there. Jumping on the back of the side, FaceCrack. There's time for Team Spirit to do what they can, but while they move in, this is allowing the CTs to rotate, to come in slowly but surely. There we go. Life is made harder, and life is made even better for forZe. 9 rounds at half-time. Could have been worse for them and better for Team Spirit, but here we are. We'll see if Spirit can win their map pick after the break. 9-6 in favor of forZe. This is Team Spirit's pick. They are a map down at the moment in this best-of-3 series for a place in the major. Well then, Team Spirit with it all to do. I think they're going to be very dejected if they can't win this pistol round, because the implications are quite something for their opponent. Power did this in so many rounds on the CT side. Had very big impacts getting that early kill for the CTs. Some really important second frags as well, but here we are. All history now. Sotvik's got a smoke grenade, which has been deployed already on the CT side for Team Spirit. So maybe that was... Actually, I have no... Oh, there we go. Okay, towards Monster. Trying to deter the push with only one player in the B-bomb site. That's not going to work out, though. Coldie's going to get taken out, and the B-bomb site is open for business.
Yeah, this looks pretty decisive. Look how quick they are. And they're going to get so much forward positioning. They're running towards a graffiti immediately, and that's going to make things incredibly hard here for the likes of Team Spirit. Also, having someone just holding down connector outside the door, it doesn't really seem to be any way in, honestly, right now. You can see Face Crack. If he wins this duel, it's so crushing, because then everybody's coming in from Monster, more or less. And everyone is winning these fights here for forZe. And Suez is the only fight really to get away of Team Spirit, and they'll have one way into the bomb site, but a double peek will deal with Chopper, leaving Sumdai Young alone in a hopeless scenario. Just trying to escape. There's 3 players coming his way. Can he make some money? No, he can't. What a beautiful round from forZe. That was so decisive, and they'll kick things off 10-6. But the force buys have been dangerous, so I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Pretty rough situation for Team Spirit. Put the smoke down towards Monster to try and deter a push, but it's the smoke as a pistol round, and the numbers game for the T side will often be good regardless. Go straight through the smoke. Essentially a 5 versus 1, and the rest is history. 10-6 for forZe, the map up. 6 rounds away from a huge victory, and maybe a few steps up the ranking ladder versus their opponent. Sumdai Young will be in the connector position with an MP9. Idis balances towards Long with the scout. Flashbang won't be too much of an issue from that range. Beautiful headshot from him, and he can fall back with most of his health if he wants to. Don't want to stay there too long. Can reset the situation, have another pot shot from a different position. In fact, he will really reset the situation and move into the toilets. That is quite the rotation from him, and it could be enough to catch somebody off guard. If he doesn't double scope in, he could catch Jerry and do some more tagging, but he'll be outmaneuvered. Now he's on 11 HP. Flashbang comes up. The trades may favor the T side. Oh, the HE, goodbye to you. Sotfik and Chopper now being punished on the reload as Chopper, leaving Sotfik alone in a 1 versus 3. Maybe he looks to save what he has at this point. Best efforts have come and gone for this round, and forZe are in a mighty strong position.
I think he's going for the gun that was dropped. Or actually, yeah, I think that's probably what the play is for him. Because I think, you know, there's a headshot from Idis balance towards A long at the start of the round, so that's probably the gun he's going for. Indeed. And there you go, Mag 10. That's something. Might actually be able to catch somebody off guard here. There's always a possibility. Any other better guns? Doesn't seem to be the case. Well, he's going to be able to drop a CZ to a teammate at least next round, so there'll be some damage potential for if they have a setup somewhere. But yeah, good stuff from forZe. Honestly, I saw that getting really out of hand, especially with Idis balance doing great amounts of damage. He gets that first headshot immediately. That's a really good sign. That full rotation all the way around to the bathrooms, and then forZe sort of attacking to that position. And with the flash also came in from Team Spirit to also attack from Divider and from Connector at the same time. Like that was like really good stuff from Team Spirit. So the fact that forZe were able to deal with that and have 3 people still left alive is pretty impressive and a testament to how confident they are as a team right now. They get triple Mac 10, so they're rushing into B, I think, James. I think that's what's going on here. Almaze, is he just playing USP? All right, well, it's got to be a B rush. Here we go.
Yeah, he's waiting for the AWP. He's waiting for the AWP.
I know, but still. He could have got something, right?
Well, you're not expecting Kevlar, helmets for the most part, so the USP is the best range for the job.
Yeah,
so he's in a good spot. He can pick anything else up if one of his teammates goes down. Give him the bomb plant bonus as well, I like it. Allows teammates to cover all the guns. There we go. Team Spirit now want to avoid being victimized by these weapons. Don't want to give the bonus money to those MAC-10s. Just make your life harder for your buy rounds. There'll be some flashes to reposition or get into position. Have a quick look, and Almeza doesn't want to lose his Kevlar in this situation. He's going to his teammates to do the job. There's a HG. Ooh. But again, really, it's Sexy Power who needs to do the cleanup. Cody's in the red, Cody's dead, and everything's in its right place for forZe. Double the score of their opponent, so far ahead. There'll be a lot of pressure on this CT buy round.
Yeah, good amount of damage overall. 2 kills. Can't really expect anything more, given what they had. Exopower rocking the 23 for 8. With that AWP on that CT side, he was really feeling it. That was awesome to watch.
Impact frags.
I hope we get to see more of that now that he's got the AWP on this T side as well. Like, that dynamic between him and Idis Balance will be important. So, oh, hello. He's going to try to catch them jumping out onto the water, and I think it just missed the timing. Oh, just missed the timing.
Now, how long do you wait for this? Oh, all right.
Yeah,
the thing is, you know 4 players are there, so do you get aggressive with the rest of your team? Look at the reaction to Team Spirit. We've got Sundayoung charging down long. We've got Idis Balance running up towards the top of connector. There's 1 player for you to worry about in the next 10 seconds if you're anywhere else on the map, essentially, and there's an instant response from Team Spirit. So they're 4 versus 5, but can they turn it around based on their reaction?
I mean, it's one of the things where, unfortunately, they were playing so passive that they couldn't really get a lot of mileage out of knowing that there were 4 players there.
Well, they pretty much know it's a B play at this point.
Well, so much time has passed. forZe could have started pressuring towards A if they wanted, but
they just had a player long who's rotated, and look at Idis Balance's position. Where could they pressure? There's no pressure. They know it's B. They've got 3 players here now with Idis Balance in position just in case. They've got 2 counter smokes as well, which are both on the B bomb site. So if they can put those down, then with the time on the clock, forZe could be in a lot of trouble. The investment into that 1 pick may have ended up conceding them the round, essentially, because of the related information. Cody's still got his smoke. He's only deploying it now. There's 22 seconds. Surely this ends in disaster. How could it end any other way?
Oh my god. Well, there's a trace coming in. Sundayoung playing the water position. He could delay this, and okay, the smoke goes down. Should need the plant save just about from Exopower. He's got to get out of the smoke here. Doesn't know exactly where these players are. We'll try to use the Molotov to keep himself safe from one of these angles. And there's one in Graffiti Idis Balance. Oh, it's so difficult to aim over the flames, especially when you're in such a position. Exopower with pulling out the Glock now, and they will go down. And yeah, I do think it's a bit strange they didn't try to pressure towards the A side of the map at all, because you can smoke, and they had all their utility. You can smoke into bathrooms and flash so that they can't peek and deep. But they did just hang out and that's the problem, right? Because also they don't know what the CTs know. So they don't know if the CTs are playing really aggressive on the A side of the map or if they're playing really passive. But because they never touch the A side of the map, the CTs, they effectively have everything, on as you say, James. So you got to force them to have a guess at least that you're going one way or the other. You can't allow them to just know.
Got to give credit to Spirit for their response as well. Instant response as soon as the pick came in. They knew it was a 4-man boost, so they knew almost all of the map is open based on that. There's only 1 other person that can be somewhere else. So the boost was a bit a gift, but it was also a curse, it seems, in that particular round. But both teams are on the bye once again. 3 players in the B bomb site for the time being. No aggressive short B plays just yet. And they're creeping in with minimal warning. No flashes, no nothing, just bodies. The wide swing from Jerry is great. And Chopper's caught completely off guard. That's a beautiful response from forZe, but there's more work to do. Sophic mostly blind, and Jerry's there to take him out. 3K from Jerry. No response from Team Spirit. This is not going to be a good round for them, and they're backing off already.
Yeah, this is really bad, actually. Their economy is going to get pretty wrecked because they have no money at all right now, and they just picked up a round. They're not really going to have any loss bonus to play with. This is going to spell disaster because forZe not only will get the 13 this round, Team Spirit, do they force up around these 2 guns? They won't have a very good buy around these 2 guns, though. But they might have to do it because if they go for a save and sort of concede another round, forZe are on 14 rounds already. This is like Team Spirit are in a really awkward position now. This is really, really awkward, and this is also for the series. forZe picked up the first map, of course, if you are just joining us. They're looking good for the second, if things continue in this way. Those B rushes have been getting it done here for the T sides on both halves. You can see the odds have swung into forZe's favor pretty hard.
Yeah, that is quite the change from the beginning of this map. Quite the change. But the score dictates a change, it demands a change. I love plays like this. No warning whatsoever. They're waiting for us. You can see, I think it was Chopper holding the grenade. They're waiting for a sound cue from grenades flying in to start responding. There's no cue. They just charge through and they can catch them completely off guard. You throw that in. That's the thing, a gimmick round like that can just completely destroy your entire half if it comes in at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And they will force up around the save guns. It doesn't look too bad, actually. I mean, the UMP, the MP9 are so cheap. It just when people figured out that those guns are good, it like really changed a lot. UMPs used to be better, of course. But they're still good, and Balance actually gets a nice shot there off the boost. Over towards the sewers, so Team Spirit's time to open things up with a pick off of a boost, and that's definitely fun. Almazer will take a lot of nade damage, and he is on 46 health. That's not good. So right now, forZe have a lot to do. They've got an investigation by exit power there, up the A long position. Everyone else towards sewers, creating presence towards B. Does exit power try to get onto the A site alone? It could be the play, whilst his teammates try to get more information towards B.
Ooh, Chopper not deep enough, and he could get caught with a grenade again. Coldie focusing on the short B position. No one's really here to deal with it, but Coldie with a very fast response, right weapon for the job, the moving accuracy and so on. In the meantime, exit power still creeping, scoped in, and no one checked along whatsoever. They don't have the sound cues. Once again, there are no cues unless Jerry gives one away, maybe feeling some time pressure. How deep does XC Power look? Does he look towards toilets? Because Sophics rotating, and he could be the key that's missing at the moment. He goes for a have a look, manages to move fast enough, and that's a lot of information for the CTs now. And they have position. 30 seconds for the toilets to be cleared one way or another. Not from Flitzway, that's for sure. Tag, but no frag. And Jerry suddenly alone versus 5. This is a kind of round that Spirit need. Jerry's the last man standing. He needs to make it as expensive as possible. He needs to take weapons away. He's got the shadow advantage, but not the man advantage. 4 players survive for Team Spirit. A few upgrades here and there. Very important fashion in which to win the round.
Yeah, it really was. I wonder actually how much money forZe have. I wasn't checking just then. So can they get themselves straight back into it? So I can see here actually. Okay, they should be okay for a goodbye. Yeah, really critical rounds. That will keep Team Spirit in it for now. Good round from Modus Balance. And forZe, oh, actually going for a half buy. So are they going to go high progressive here? Let's see if they are up for it.
Well, that Molly is going to be a problem towards the playground position. And they don't have all the utility in the world for the normal ways to respond once that Molly is there. Smoked off in connector as well. This is a rough spot and a rough round. Risks taken or simply walk through the smoke. But Idis Balance has a really good angle with the AWP. There's no rifle support for him, though, but he may be able to fall back, or maybe not. It's actually getting awkward for him. Oh, dear. Well, someday I'm looking to clean up. He'll get 2 frags, but maybe a bomb plant's possible. The AWP being past the parcel. XC Power's picked it up. Jerry's been exploded. Flit's got a nice angle, if the timing is right. Sotfik with the great angle from the bank stairs to stop people crossing towards the truck position, which leaves Flitz alone. And how curious will Team Spirit be? You can see just waiting is going to thin the numbers a little. Chopper's got to worry about the B bomb site and a flank. So the longer they wait, the better situation Flit may be in. However, again, if you're on the stairs by the bank looking towards truck, Flit cannot cross without being shot at. So that's a lot of information for the CTs at least.
Yeah, they've done the perfect thing here, Team Spirit. I like how Flit is sitting here. He's waiting for a mistake, which would be for someone to investigate the bomb site. Then he gets a free kill. But in the positions they're in, I mean, he'll be forced upon eventually, and then they can punish that, and there's nothing that he can do about it. So that's kind of well played here by Team Spirit. Although he's able to get the bomb plant. You can see Coley does have the angle. They had both angles, so there was no retreat. And the round going to Team Spirit, they were able to get something going. The perfect timing, because if they had allowed 1 or 2 more rounds to go towards forZe, obviously they would already have won the game. So that was a half buy though. For the likes of forZe.
Bosh.
And so we'll see a 4 buy back in from them, and you do start to wonder, will they go much like Team Spirit on that first half? Are they going to go for that trusty B rush? Given the fact that XPower has an AWP we're seeing with the Kriegs, I wouldn't imagine that we'll see that. We'll more likely see a default. And indeed, we'll see them spreading out here towards the fountain. Oh, XPower, he's real fast.
Holy potatoes, he is quite the problem. That was disgusting. You don't often see a peak like that. Team Spirit, they started well. They had the very quick smoke outside Monster. They had the molly towards Playground, all the usual stuff to slow down a push from forZe, and forZe still get a 5 versus 4 almost immediately. And it's the same player on both sides. Creeping in now, Chopper's in a strong position. He's got information, but they no longer have position, Team Spirit. 2 players deep towards A on a long rotation. Coldy hoping for an opportunity, but they should know not to cross that side of the pillar too quickly. Smoke is up for the site, but the timing is great for Coldy. The follow-up HE could do some damage as well. And there's another one. Big damage done. Nice combo from Team Spirit, and maybe they've got a chance in this 2 versus 3 situation.
Good nade damage going back the way of Team Spirit. XPower is on another level right now. Sotfik can't get anything done. Balance will be able to get a trade onto XPower, so at least he's been dealt with, but there's still 2 players to go, and they're not going to give any peeks for free here. The flashbang comes out, as Balance can't do anything there. Does throw the smoke for the pressure, but just has to try to keep the AWP alive here. But maybe with that frag, he can make a go of this as he pushes forwards over the top here. Try to find the next player around the pillar, and he can't find the no-scope in time. Almeza gets it done, and a critically important round picked up by forZe.
I saw it happening, especially after the peak from Flit. AWP on the way to save, but still had an opportunity to get a frag. And only 1 player will survive, as you can see. The rounds have become arid for forZe. 4 in a row for Team Spirit, but now forZe are just 2 rounds away. Let's see what kind of buy both teams have. We see limitations for Team Spirit, the UMP for Coldy, the MP9 for Sundayang, the Desert Eagle for Sotfik. This is a really key round for Team Spirit. They lose this one, surely it is just about the end of the line. Got a short B push from multiple players through a smoke, no less. Somehow Chopper trades, only to get deleted afterwards, and this could be it. Coldy's got a smoke up. Do they push through it? It is variance they might not need. Coldy around the pillar. He's still got position on the short position, and he's got an AK as well. This is a massive hold for him at the moment. And still, forZe can't play off of each other at present. The smoke towards Monster makes things worse. The bomb is just lying there on the pillar, and still Balance is rotating. Coldy's been here for ages, and he's still holding things down. He sees Flit towards short. I don't think Flit had any idea. A little tag, not quite all the damage he needed, though. And Balance is now in position.
Coldy in a good spot here, and Balance sees the insurance. Oh, that's not quite deep enough to really cause Coldy any problems. He can still hang out here by the barrels. That's deep enough though. That is going to cause problems. Forced out into the open. No one's checking for it though. And Flip will adjust for that position. Disbalance though, as I said, insurance as he goes around the corner, and they still have the bombs. The Team Spirit have to, forZe have to go and push this position. They'll go around Monster side instead so they can play together up of the choke point. And Balance, he has actually read this beautifully. He has read this so beautifully. He's got the right play, but can he execute? Sees the shadow. Now just 1 more player to go. Exipap, but where is he? Spots him. Shots around the corner here for both sides. Balance gets it. It's a headshot, no less. And that is an important shot. What a clutch. And another round goes the way of Team Spirit, but it couldn't have been closer.
That is a huge round for Team Spirit in a very difficult situation, especially the way it started. But the smokes were in the right place. I think forZe made fair decisions, not pushing through the smoke in a short B area. Just awkward for all concerned, but Team Spirit are still in there. It's double figures for them, 4 rounds away. And I do wonder what the money's like for the T side, because going into that, it was really hard for the CT side, and the buy is a little better. But forZe will take a gamble in this particular round, go for the force buy. Try and hit them while they're down, Team Spirit. 2 MP9s to FAMAS, a limitation on the grenades, but importantly for Team Spirit, there's no AWP for Almeza, because he has been devastating with it in both halves. Finally, they could potentially put a rest to these opening frags from forZe.
Oh, this is dangerous. Oh, God. Okay, well, Something Young, they're going to challenge him together, so they do get a 1-for-1 trade. This balance is close. Oh, he whiffs the shot. Trying to get out of dodge now. He has a teammate for support here, and you can see that's going to work out. The USP is doing the damage. This balance. It's going to finish them all off. It would seem, or maybe not. Exit-Power. Oh, Exit-Power. He's going to pick up an AWP. That's scary. What can he do with it, though? He's against 3 players. He's got no HP. He's got no Kevlar. And they know exactly where he is.
But he's got an AWP. And I think they've all been victimized by it. At this point, if they haven't heard his scope, he could already be towards playground. There's no guarantee that he's in this area. Sotfix made his way towards connector, towards the very back of it. So if he stays scoped in and just walks, he's got a reasonable chance at a 1 versus 1 somewhere on the map. 35 seconds, and the paranoia is high. The team looking around, but he's got to use this time to try and plant the bomb, surely. Unless he wants to save. But if he thinks they know where he is, then the save is unlikely. Still hopping around the toilets, and I think he's given a sound cue away. You can see Sotfix starting to move back up connector. So he's conceded his position, and it seems he's going to just try and save the AWP.
Yeah.
That's going to be rough. He risks dying after time. That would be colossal, but it looks like that might not happen.
Could be various. There are going to be some footsteps here. I think we're coming in from both sides. Oh, there's one more. No. Okay. All right. Okay. I think that was the right play as well, because he can't get a bomb plant due to the fact that if they, if they're playing it correctly, then they force him to go for a plant, and he's got an AWP and no Kevlar and no health, so he comes out of the scope to plant. So he's just absolutely screwed, no matter what. And he had some money for, as you can see, he can get some Kevlar here. The rest of his teammates are on a full save, but he is so good with this gun that you kind of want to see him play with it, even in a spot like this.
Vintage Overpass strats.
Yeah.
The boost over the bench, look in the window. Accidentally fell off, but it won't be too concerning. You can spray through those divider lips with a rifle or a sniper, but you can't spray with a sniper. Anyway, it's forZe with a lot of players towards the playground. See what their read is at the moment. Exit-Power with the hero AWP. Oh, that was a chance. The HE is going to fly over. A Molotov would be really good for this position, just to force the CTs from defending here, but they don't want to anyway. The problem is forZe don't know that. Smoke to create some space, help SamDayoung with some cover. Inviting the Ts to the site. They can't really focus on the bomb plant just yet. They need to frag behind and easily spray through that smoke. In fact, they're going for the default plant, but there is no position just yet. That's more than I expected from this round. But there we go.
And they get the AWP back.
They can find it. I haven't found it just yet. There we go. All is well.
Yeah, so this one's getting rather close now, and the bomb went down, so we'll get a full buy-in now from the likes of forZe. You can see the strat book there on the table. There's one there as well. Strats. All right, so getting close, real close here now. This is getting tense. forZe, they slowed down quite a lot. You can see Exit-Power, I think he was like 24 for something much less than 14 earlier. But you can see it's evening out now as the team spirit having much more success. And Exit-Power, he's not quite as menacing as he was on that CT side with the AWP. And, I would expect to see a default here from forZe again, given what they've got going on. 2 Kriegs and AWP, you want to get some max value out of those. Oh, this balance. Oh, is he going towards B here? This is interesting. This could catch forZe off guard. Oh, are they going to go for the boost again, or what's... Okay. What are they up to?
It looks like it. I mean, why else would they all be here?
Fantastic.
Okay, here they go again.
I like it.
But if they get a frag, will the T response be different? You can see, where's the 5th man? Flit's just above connector at the moment. And how long do they stay here for? How long do they look for something? Not too long, it seems. So we will see some kind of normal round, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, that's the weird thing, is that you kind of need to do it immediately if you want to get that timing of the CTs jumping out of the balcony, out of heaven. And they did it delayed. So then the only option you'll probably have is jump peeking, as we saw the previous pick. Oh, Sotfix messed that one up. He's nosed it up.
think he's looking for somebody just above FaceCrack's position. Maybe it was supposed to be a left and right click, and it was just a right click. I don't know. Pilot's looking inside. Is there rifle support outside? Young is behind him. Starting to creep around. Coldie has the only smoke over towards the B-bomb site. So this looks like a very brittle situation for this Disbalance. I don't think he really has any cover at this juncture. Looking outside, and he's going to get taken out. There's no response. No one else is there. So again, we'll talk about it later. Molotov towards the bank position. We've got the smoke on the stairs, a spray from the CTs. A boost over that smoke would surely be waited for by the T side. They're trying to avoid the flashbangs though, facing the truck wall. And there is the alternative boost. Not seeing anything just yet. forZe have pushed really far back. Only left Flit on the site with no one to support him on these angles. But maybe he'll be enough. He's got 2 kills and left Sophic alone. So maybe it's time to fall back or really try to use that smoke to maybe invite T's to come and force him to die as well. He's picked up a defuse kit, but it is going to be match point for forZe. Team Spirit in all kinds of trouble.
Yeah, there's something about this forZe team that, to me, it just feels like they are just a little bit more. They just have a bit more. They're a bit fresher, you know. And they are on the cusp of taking this series against Team Spirit. They've got all the toys they want. Team Spirit, not quite the same story. Rocking 3 MP9s. At least they have an AWP on either balance. That is something. Are they going for it again? Oh my god, they are. They're actually going for this again. I don't think I've ever seen a team try to do this many times.
Yeah, but look at the positions of the CTs already. They're in a desperate situation. Disbalance is basically looking past the fountain position. And we have Young above connector. So they may even realize what's going on at this point if no sound cues, but perhaps there'll be a jump peak. There's a jump peak, there's a shot. That shot might be enough information, and with that, Young and Disbalance are rotating, but forZe not necessarily going to commit to the B-bomb site this time. So this will be a weird situation. In the previous round, Disbalance's position in front of the toilets seemed very, very dangerous and only really good for 1 frag, which I think you need more from with the AWP. There wasn't really support from an M4. Sotfik's being taken down with a wall bang. Wait, that was from the back of connector. Through the door, through the wall, into the head.
Oh my
That's
god.
not very helpful, but Chopper's gone to make a forward play with some utility, so this will be heard. Jerry, this might be awkward for both, actually. But what's happening in the meantime? The bomb's going towards long.
Yeah, this is really important that Jerry actually holds this down because this is so much information. forZe actually, it is really smart that they come back to this position because if Chopper's in this spot, then Team Spirit, the rest of them have rotated to A. That's usually how it's going to work. And Chopper gets a kill. Now he sees there's more players, and now they have a better timing onto the B site, perhaps, if they just run all the way. And they seem to realize this, so they're going to keep going here and try to beat the CTs to the punch as they arrive onto the bomb site. But Coldie's already there on the ramp, but there are the Molotovs to push him back. Oh, almost a lineup for Disbalance. He picks up the kill onto a face crack, but the bomb will be planted, and it is a 3 versus 3. Just barely dodging that one. Not again, though.
Flitz crept around the corner, and now it's just Young to keep his team in it. Got a 1 versus 1. It fell off at the wrong time, Flit. HE won't do the damage. He's jumping, he's going to see the spot. He's so close. The MP9, the moving accuracy will be fantastic. Such a small margin situation for Team Spirit, but they're still alive. 13 rounds. We'll see maybe what Young can rescue. I'll assume he'll get the AWP. Really close stuff, really nervous stuff, but only 1 player surviving isn't enough. They may have a bad buy, the CT side, to defend, and they've got to win every other round. They've got to combine $200 at this point. Okay, so the door wasn't there, but the wall certainly was.
That was brutal. It's crazy that Flit had 4 kills in that round and they still didn't win it. No one else contributed a kill. Either way, 15-13, and it's exactly the same buy for Team Spirit, but the worst buy for forZe. Less nades, and the MAC-10 for Jerry. A lot less nades, actually. That's a problem. That's a huge issue. Disbalance playing around the divider at this point, and it looks like he will have some company sooner rather than later. Might be actually the first contact here as he smokes himself off. So we can take a deeper angle towards the long position. But they're creeping right now from the founded position, which will force Disbalance back a little bit. And that's a sensible move. Oh, Young's going in.
Yeah, this is a common sniper setup. But seems like both going to watch the same angle. I don't know if his teammate's going to switch. But maybe it's the right play, and that's going to be a fantastic bait. So far, so good. Third frag would have been fantastic. Disbalance is unable to fall back, it seems. Ooh, awkward stuff. He's in the red, but he's managed to buy himself some time. I don't know if his teammate's going to get there in time. HE on the outside is quite nervous, but he's still going to get another shot off. He's delayed them quite a lot. Now he's got teammates on the site, and we also have Chopper by connector. So there is some level of containment for Team Spirit, but it's still a nervous situation. 3v3. They've got to win 2 from 2. But it's time pressure for forZe.
They still have a Molotov on exit power, so if they do go to A, that could be for the dice position, because that's one of the most difficult ones to deal with in this kind of a spot. We're attacking into the site, but exit power will have an angle onto this. Which way will he look? Oh god, he's been spotted. This is not going to work out for him, it would appear, as he's trying to get this peak working, but it's just so difficult here. He needs his teammates to do something, but he will be sandwiched. Exit power now has to try to save this AWP, and it looks like Team Spirit are going to get themselves another round, and this is awful, because there's no money. There's no money here for the likes of forZe. They did not get the bomb down. I think they only had $2,400 of loss bonus, something in that region, so we're going to see between 2 and 3K on most of their players. And yikes, they have not been able to find... They've had a lot of chances, a lot of good chances, but they've not been able to find it.
Speaking of good chances, just at the end there, the AWP peeking from long, we saw the shadow of the player behind Dice jiggling. I don't think he noticed it, though, because he kind of peeked beyond it to the point where his scope wouldn't even let him see. So maybe there was a window if he'd noticed that to get that frag, and then things could have been a lot more difficult. But such is life. And maybe there's life in Team Spirit yet. Just one round away, and the situation for forZe is not going to be good. Now, do Team Spirit expect a B play, a B rush? Because they've got to know that forZe are in a bad situation.
Yeah, I was going to say the same. It's just that so likely that a Team B rushes in this position. It's been successful. Their money sucks. They have such limited options. That said, forZe have gone with a half buy through connector up to bathrooms a couple times already, so maybe that was enough to put down into the minds of Team Spirit that they might be a B rush, but they will have a very strong shot of defending no matter what comes their way, just due to the weapon superiority.
Seems the B rush was too obvious for forZe. They literally only have short to almost medium range weapons. Based on the spray of the Mac 10, I wouldn't even say medium range with confidence. They need to close distance. They're charging. Disbalance has gone towards long. He's got cover from some Young, but there's nobody actually on the A bomb site. He's got angles if he could see. There's so many flashes though. Up close is Jerry. He'll ring the bell, but that's not enough. Disbalance is still alive. The bait is there. The P250, the jiggling somehow he makes it work. Some Young is on that long position now, comes out at the right time, and Almaze is the only person to stop overtime from happening. He's being looked for. He doesn't have the range maybe to even stop a defuse if there are helmets. Only some Young doesn't have one in that long area. He's got the information now. He's going to lose his duel, though. That's the guy without a helmet, but now with 4 HP, he's got to find 3 that do. 15 bullets in the magazine won't be enough, and there is the last round for Team Spirit. I don't know how, but they've managed to bring this to overtime with a number of awful buys towards the end, but they turned it around and put it back on forZe.
Yeah, forZe are going to be definitely feeling bad about that, because they had so many good chances to take that one over the line, and you know, it definitely looked like there was some nerves in places, but that's to be expected. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens now in overtime, because things usually get a little bit weird in overtime, because everything that happened in regulation, I don't know, it's just there's something about it when you hit overtime. There's just this magical amount of rounds when you go past 30, things just seem to get a little bit weird. But we'll see how weird they get between these two teams. We'll start things off with exit power on the AWP, Disbalance on the AWP, everything looks normal from that perspective. But this would be potentially a good time to mix things up for forZe, see what they go with. They've got a lot of players committed towards the sewers and monster area. Disbalance with the boost, the flashbang there to stop his peak from working out, but beyond the angle, face crack goes, and he takes down Disbalance. 3-1.
The barrel of his gun, way too long, exposed his position, got sprayed into oblivion. Some grenades towards the barrels will do minimal damage to Coldy. He wasn't quite in the barrel position, but he tries to move back there, and there's more grenades. He'll get there eventually, though. And he's able to smoke off the tunnel position from there. So that Molotov will put fire on the top and bottom part of that area. So if you were pushing as a CTs, it would clear that position for you. But as we can see, there are other positions to worry about. There is a boost, and there's a two-man spray down across two different players for forZe. 5 versus 2. This is awful for Team Spirit. Creating some space with a smoke on a short position. sophik with the jump peak, but he needs to get multi-frags. They all do. But what remains of Team Spirit in this situation, Molotov back from their spot, and their options will be very limited by the likes of forZe. Team Spirit, their own pieces being moved around by the T side and then exterminated. Very strong stuff in the first round.
Yeah, it's exactly what they need after so much struggle. Being unable to close things down in the regulation, it's definitely what forZe need to feel good about themselves. But yeah, I mean, you have to credit them to have the flashbang to blind eye this balance so he doesn't get anything off of his peak, and then for FaceCrack to go beyond the angle and then spot it to get the kill. That's a great opening. This balance going in for some kills here. Exit Power actually, I think he got a tag onto Sunday Young. There's 4 players here of the CTs that are going very aggressive. Got someone pushed all the way to the bench here. Sunday Young could be quite a problem. forZe do not need to commit into this. How much have they seen? They know that there is some aggression here.
Yeah, Spirit will feel like they need the aggression. That's a huge Kobe. If they lose this round again, the money's going to be completely wiped out, so they're taking more risks because it's a more urgent situation, but it's still not quite working out for them. 3 players remain, 2 still very, very deep around Long and Party. Chopper around the fountain's got to feel completely exposed. Coldie blind for the time being, but there's no peek from the T side, and Chopper's got to guess between one side and the other. But he's got the sound cues. They'll spot Jerry going down, but has he been seen? In the meantime, the bomb's been dropped in that Party position, sorry, in the playground. And thank you for that. And 3 versus 2 for Team Spirit. Creeping around the wall. They'll see the bomb, I think. And now XE Power is alone. 1 versus 2. Still an expensive round, even if Team Spirit are to win it. We'll see if that has an impact, but for now, there's still a round to be played for. 40 seconds running towards Long as XE Power. These CTs could be anywhere. Coldie's got the sound cues. He's got the off angle. He's heard the scope. But XE Power might just have the distance between the wall of contention, but he's missed his shot. Quicker to the trigger finger, but he missed, and the score is tied.
That's crazy. It looks like they absolutely had it. And it was interesting because there was a moment where forZe were ahead, and then it seemed like they were like, all right, guys, let's go back to the other side. Let's start moving. And then that was the moment when the remaining players actually peeked them, and they caught 2 players out of position, unable to defend themselves. And then from there on, it was Team Spirit's round. Crazy stuff. As you say, James, they took a risk, and it did pay off. We didn't see that round once in regulation. So that's kind of the stuff I'm talking about, given overtime territory when things get a little bit strange. See deep flash there for Chopper to peek with in towards Monster. Can't go too deep though, and it's going to be a lot of forZe players behind these positions. XE Power gets himself 1 flit as well, and that's the connector area cleaned up, so they can actually slow this down. They don't have to go towards B now. They have a 5 versus 3, so they've got plenty of time, 1.5 minutes. They can spread out a little bit and try to guarantee this round a little bit more.
Again, Team Spirit fighting for survival at the moment. A map down, and the first half looks really rough on their map pick of Overpass. But they still have a chance. They have a chance to lead at half-time in overtime now. Doesn't look very likely, though, at the moment. But Disbalance is trying to make a difference. But there's a really horrible angle by Flit, and he'll be punished. Flit with 1 HP. Impact frags. 2 players remain for Team Spirit. It's a very long rotation for forZe, but sophik can hear it. Problem is, he doesn't have position. Walking so he doesn't concede his own position. And connector will be held by forZe for the time being as the bomb makes its way towards the A bomb site. The choke points are choked out. Spirit are smoked out. And sophik scoped out by Flit. That leaves Chopper now with the Krieg. And a hell of a lot to do. Not very likely to do it.
Got a taser at least. Not sure how that could come into play, but indeed it's looking like a brutal end for Team Spirit to this first half of overtime. Chopper's been spotted now, so spots ahead. It's a nice little kill right at the end, but it won't amount for too much. Flip with the wall bang, not bad, not bad. 17-16, forZe will be leading at the end of the first half of overtime 1. But will it be enough? Again, we can't really take anything for granted insofar as what happened in regulation now.
What we can take for granted, Dan, is how many times XE Power got an opening frag on the CT side running long or towards the party area. That was almost a guarantee, it felt like.
Yeah, he was playing really well. But they've had their momentum sapped quite significantly since that first half, so we'll see if that's impacted him at all. But indeed, he's got the AWP.
He's got a reasonable spawn. He's going to go for it. I wouldn't bet against him.
Yeah.
He's going to feel refreshed. Coming back into the CT side, so see what he's able to do. I didn't even see the player on his screen, so I don't know how that happened. So what is the setup? We can hear the scope. There's a flashbang. Maybe they've learned their lesson. XP flash from his position. Both teams haven't really used too much utility just yet, so there's lots of play to be had. But XP will just hold this aggressive spot. Despite Cody being in that playground area, he's hungry for frags, and he may be served one. Sotfik's going to peek with the bomb. Oh, the timing is unbelievable, but Almeza's there for a 2K. Brutal stuff from him. 26 frags, looking for more. And he spotted 2 of the remaining 3 players. That's a lot of information for forZe.
Yeah, and there's a reconfiguration in the A setup immediately. You've got Jerry coming in to assist, and XP goes very passive. And this is really important because you may think, oh, you know, why is he not trying to take shots there? You know, they know where they are. But when you play really aggressively like that, it's, I would say, pretty plus EV to fall back because you were able to buy so much time, because it then requires that the Ts need to either take a huge series of risks, or they need to use utility, and they need to use a lot of time because you could be in so many spots. Whereas, you know, you're in the meantime, you're just kind of chilling on your respective bomb site, just playing jump peaks like this to make it as safe as possible. But look how much time has been killed already. It's going to be about 40 seconds of time that was killed by that aggression from Almeza.
Yeah, no more smokes for the CT side, but this is somewhat telegraphed now. We've got the smoke that goes to the middle of the site to help them plant the bomb, give some cover from the left side of the pillar towards the balcony, but forZe are just waiting. 18 seconds is buying time for the rotation. Spirit still not committed, still not through the choke points. There's a flashbang. It's going to work out, though. They've got the trades. Can they get the bomb down? They need to cross the site. The bomb's being thrown over. Desperate situation. Flit round the side. Does he stop the plant? He's going for the short player first. The transfer's beautiful. Beautiful stuff from forZe. And that is a huge round in the bag.
I love that decision making there because it's actually really difficult to know which play you go for. Like, it's really hard to know because if you get the kill there on the bomb planter, you win the round. If you get the kill on the other guy, you have a 2v1 kind of. You know, it's going to be 2 1v1s, but you know, it's another situation where you're favorable there. But like, which one do you choose? And he chooses the option to shoot down the player towards short first, and the transfer was awesome. So great work from Flit. He's been having a pretty good series, I got to say. Some big moments from the likes of Flit. And that was another one. And so XP back to his usual shenanigans here with the AWP, and he hits it again every time. Every time he's hit that shot so far, straight to the dome. Face crack as well. Oh god, James, this might be over before we know it.
I do wonder how many of those duels he's even lost at this point. I don't think it's many. 5 versus 3 for forZe. Stronghold. Team Spirit on the horse outside the moats, running around the castle, it seems, trying to make their way in the back door, but forZe might be ready for it. There's no flash. They're lining up. They'll take a ticket. A 2-0 for forZe. Really back and forth on both maps, but quite entertaining. And for me, it has to be an MVP with that AWP. That was absolutely ridiculous from start to finish.
Yeah, that was a really great series from forZe. You know, they started strong out of the gates. It's great that we got to see, I think, generally just better Counter-Strike from these two teams. Team Spirit, of course, historically, and also on the rankings, are a team that should be winning this series. But forZe have just shown us that they've made a lot of improvements, and it's their time right now. And they look so focused and so hungry for this one. So I'm glad that they got that result. It's not over yet.